When did you take over as Sergeant Major of the Army?
4 August 23. 4 August 20. This August will be 2 years.
No doubt. And was that, as you're saying, it was just a lot where you're like, oh, I have
That was heavy. I've done some pretty cool stuff in my career, but this is like the heaviest rucksack I've ever carried for the Army. I mean, it's a lot.
No
You're
doubt.
basically the Army's dad.
Or the big toe.
I mean,
You know the reference?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You know the reference.
The big toe.
The big toe. I've been called that.
The big toe is such a good nickname.
I mean, it's if you know the movie reference, then you know what I'm talking about. But
Mike,
it
the
is
big
that's
toe.
why I wanted to compete today, because I wanted to kind of lead from the front and show all these youngsters that a 53 old dude with fake hips and rebuilt other joints can. I might be slower, but you can still get after it. Yeah.
I think you represent that. Your entire career shows that. You have, how many Purple Hearts do you have? 2 or 3?
2.
2, and as ID gunshot. I know I made a joke. And you're like,
they're
oh,
both,
you
they're
have
both,
been shot before.
They're both shrapnel.
Both of them?
Both of them are
Don't do it.
shrapnel. One super minor. One, more effective than the first one.
Yeah, that's what
The
happens.
second one took me out for a little while. It took me about 6 months to recover.
No shit.
Maybe a little bit longer than that, but I was able to climb the rope and kit to deploy in 6 months, so that's all that mattered.
I went to the wrong aid station. I didn't even have a day off when I got shot. I literally went
Yeah.
to the wrong aid station, so I was on a mission the next day.
That's a good aid station in my
No,
opinion.
it's not.
I don't understand. I don't understand what you want me to do right now.
They fixed you in a day? That sounds really good.
I like. There's a lot of other things I want to tell you right now, but I won't do that. But
No, do it.
yeah.
Here, Eli, have some
Buck-
ibuprofen. Walk it
Buck-
off.
It's literally, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Water.
back on mission. Okay, this is it. This is what I'll do.
Yeah.
When you guys left to go take a photo, I stole the Sergeant Major because I wanted to just get some one-on-one time with him because I'm selfish. And we started talking about his early days and his motivation for coming in and being a soft soldier. And there's Mogadishu. And before the guys came in, you were talking to me about some of the books that you read when you were a child and the things that motivated you. And we left off on the Hmong, but that wasn't the group of people you were talking about.
Yeah,
from
the
book.
mountain yards in Southeast Asia in the late 50s, early 60s. That was really like my mom was just happy I was in the 8th grade laying on the floor reading. Period.
Anything.
We'll just go with
Yeah.
reading. We didn't have all this back then, but it was really what SOF was doing in Southeast Asia, late 50s through the 60s. If she was here, she'd tell you by 8th grade she knew I was going to be a Green Beret. Yeah, I mean, and I don't, I'm being dead serious with that. I mean, I knew that's what I'm going to go do for a living. And it's morphed and changed over the years. There was a period where I was, a true SF Green Beret, and then there's a period where I did other stuff for 20 years, and then I went back to my, roots as a Green Beret at USASOC. And then once you end up at, more senior nominative level, then you're whatever the Army needs you to be.
You just did normal infantry, and then how long did it take for you to actually make team for the first time?
No, so I didn't. So, I was at Ohio State. My dad was an officer. My grandfather was an officer. So obviously I got pushed into that, hey, you should go be an officer. And I was like, I'm kind of a blue-collar guy, I like calluses and, I like to get dirty. But I listened, they served for 27 and 36 years. So I was like, okay. So I was at Ohio State, but I was already didn't want to really be in ROTC, the Ohio State, just make sure I get that out there. And then Mogadishu happened. And when Mogadishu happened, because that was one of the first things you can actually watch on TV. That was kind of crazy watching that on the news. I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. I got to get in the Army. So my roommate was in 11th Special Forces, which was a reserve unit. And they had a thing called the Rep 63 program, which was one of the original 18 X-ray programs. So I enlisted straight into SF and came right off the street, went straight through everything, and that's my journey. Yeah, I'm 31 years of SOF.
That's
Yeah.
what you're.
That's why I
one
had
of the,
so much of the Army to learn. That's why when I was
The
telling
only
you,
person I've ever
Yeah.
met that actually enlisted is the 11 X-ray thing and
And
just
made it.
it straight through.
yeah, it's called a Rep 63, 18 X-ray now.
That is why you were literally the first person I think
I've ever met.
Yeah.
That was always how people got him for 5 years.
Normally,
Yeah.
that's like
I thought
the
that was
fly
a
trap,
marketing
right?
scam the
Yeah.
entire time. I didn't know
Yeah.
anybody actually did it.
It's done. It was me, and I wasn't the only one.
Feel
And
free to
and
have
I ain't gonna lie. It was
That'd be a lesson.
it was
If you got what it
freaking
takes to
hard.
be sergeant major of the army, maybe you could make it through 11 X-ray on the first try.
Yeah, it was tough, and believe it or not, back then, depending on what you signed up for, if you were an 18 Echo, then you actually went to Fort Jackson and you went to Fort Gordon at the time, and you became a 31 series, a communicator. If you were an 18 Charlie, then you went to go be a 12.
Oh, interesting.
So it wasn't until the 18 X-ray program came in GWAT that they all went down to OSIT. So I didn't actually even go to OSIT. So to be honest with you, I would say it was even a little harder to go straight through. Yeah, but I wasn't alone. There, my buddy Frankie and Alan, and there's 4 of us that all kind of linked up when we went to pre-SFAS out in Camp Williams, Utah, which I think might have actually been harder than SFAS, which is why we probably had fun at SFAS. But we made it all straight through. The attrition rate was ridiculous, and to this day, at least my buddy Frank Rossi, we're still tight. We still to this day keep in touch.
No doubt. That's cool.
Yeah.
What was the attrition rate? Like what was
Oh, I don't know, but I mean the attrition rate. I don't know. I'd be a liar if I told you I knew the stats. I mean, the attrition rate today is still wicked hard. Back then we were surrounded by 75+% active duty guys. So I learned from them in the course. You know what I mean? The E5s and E6s that were coming from, the Ranger Regiment, the 101st, 10th. I mean, they were old hats. They all had Ranger tabs. Like, they were just coming to work, to be honest with you, and they were fit. And so I had the fitness part down, so I could pay attention and learn, listen. Thank God I was a fast learner. Trust me, it wasn't my IQ. It wasn't my IQ. It's hard work. I'm a product of hard work, not high IQ.
determination?
Grit, man. I tell everybody, grit will go a long way.
Work harder, not smarter.
Yeah.
You talking about my military career now?
What I tell everybody now is like, no, I want you to work smarter, but I need you to have grit. Because we've kind of pivoted to where it's like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. Take a knee, I must be doing something wrong. I'm like, no, you're doing exactly what you should be. Shut up and push through that. But I do need you to be thinking and critical. That's why the tech and where we're going with all the innovation stuff. But that doesn't replace grit. It will never replace grit, or will.
It's like a helicopter. You're taking the worst way to the sky, but just beating the air into submission.
You literally kick the air's ass into submission. That is literally how a helicopter works. And I got a lot of time in helicopters. Not some fun times either.
I was going to say, how many times you fall out of one?
Yeah. On purpose or on accident?
Did you fall out of one on purpose?
No. Fast roped out of a lot of them and had some interesting landings in a lot of helicopters. Done some long flights, pissing in a bottle to get to where we needed to go to do bad things to bad people. But it is beating the air into submission.
I thought for sure when he singled you out and had you alone, he was trying to pitch his new idea for the new Army position that he wants.
So hear me out, Sergeant Major. There's an NCO of the year. There's the highest ranking NCO of the Army, Sergeant Major of the Army.
Yeah.
I think we need to have a drill sergeant of the Army. Just saying, just the standard bearer for all basic training land.
okay.
I didn't expect him to actually have a pitch.
Okay. That's all right.
I'm
That's
very
all right.
smart.
That's all right. Not all ideas are great ones. Yeah. It's okay.
But the loud ones work. It's an idea that has, hold on, it's an idea that has grit. And it's an idea that has grit.
It's an idea that
We said we want you thinking. It's okay.
Rich, you heard it. Push through this.
I can do
Pitch
it. I'm
again.
gonna
Sell it.
I'm gonna beat the air into submission until it sounds like a yes.
Sergeant Major of the Army just called you a retard.
Sergeant Major of the Army is very intelligent. He knows what he sees. Looks like a duck,
I
quacks
don't
like
know.
a duck. It's a duck.
I don't know. We'll have to look at it. It's the first herd. But, first shots, I don't know.
Just saying you're welcome already.
Okay.
Oh, I love Rich so much.
Yeah.
You didn't prep that, so you deserve that one. I didn't know that was coming.
No, I thought about that for like 3 days.
Good. As soon as that
It shows.
As soon as that goes through, we'll have the E4 of the army too.
I like
have
it.
the actual E4 mafia.
He's gonna
boss,
know
for
where all the
sure.
stolen stuff is.
Designated.
I'm not touching that one.
That's why you have the E4 of the army do it. We're getting here. We're
So
getting
he's
here.
like, well, thank you guys for having me.
You
I
just got a guy.
Anywhere else to be?
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, what did I sign up for?
So what do you guys think about this?
Dude, this is awesome.
Right. Cool as hell. I'm looking forward to it. It's just a privilege. I mean, we're kind of in the boat where it's just wild to be here, wild to be invited. So we're just.
I'm
along
here.
for the
I'm
ride.
having a blast. Every Uber I get, that guy's having a panic attack because 98% of all the roads are closed. You know, it's a good time.
It is a
Yeah.
wild experience for, I mean, like even probably for Rich, it's meeting all of you and you're amazing people, but coming out at an E4 in 2008,
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
talked to anyone of high rank ever. I met
Yeah,
one general.
I hope one of the takeaways is that, you know, the nation starts to see that we're pretty damn normal people. Honest to God. I mean, I go out of my way to, I know it catches some people off guard, but like, this is pretty normal. Like, my wife and daughters would be like, he's like that all the time. He drives us crazy.
I can vouch for that because I think I was in the same room hanging out with you for 2 hours before I realized who you were.
Perfect. That's perfect, man.
Eli told me after the fact, and I was like, well, I wish you would have told me before. I probably wouldn't have made some of those jokes, but they all landed, so everything worked out.
That was perfect. Yeah. No, seriously. You know, from the chief, if the vice was here, you'd see the same thing. I don't know if you got to talk to the vice last night, but we've really gone out of our way to like humanize the damn army. Now, we got standards, and what we do is freaking hard, but it doesn't mean that you have to like take that whole being a human being thing and leave it at the freaking MEP station. That's a lie. And I just don't think we've ever really kind of gone out of our way to show that, let alone have the technology to kind of do it. And you guys I think you guys are helping us with that. And so are all the other influencers.
I mean, I truly believe you look at the comments and the responses from the Pentagon episode and then the last episode when Butler was on, and it's so much positivity.
Oh, Colonel Butler.
Yeah, Colonel Butler. But it is
Good old Colonel Geneva Suggestions Butler.
it's like,
You know, I've known him since he was a young major.
no doubt.
I got Butler stories for days. Most
We've
of
got
them,
time.
Most of them are not PG-13 for here.
Perfect. We're
This
a rated
podcast
R
isn't
show.
PG-13. Go ahead.
Yeah. But it is when I'm in this. No, I will say one thing about Colonel Butler. Let me stay official here. One thing he is not afraid to push the envelope when it's something that's righteous. And he has been that way since I met him in, oh my gosh, what year was that? I was the Squadron Operations Sergeant Major, so that's got to be 2012? 2012 when I met him as a brand new major in our organization, and he's been that way. That's why he is where he is today, because we got to push the envelope. That it's not business as usual.
It's amazing
That
to
sounds
watch.
like a very official way of saying he got in a lot of fucking trouble.
We always usually would get in trouble, but if you're not getting in a little bit of trouble, then you're probably not pushing anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Like you can't just sit back and be happy with the status quo, or be scared of your own shadow. You've got to push shit. And then if you're doing it for the right reasons, right? The purpose is righteous, then it's a coachable moment. You'd be like, well, rein that shit in a little bit. Like we used to say for operators, when we were training operators, if I got to coddle you out the door, come on, little buddy, it'll be okay. They're not shooting at you that much. You're not the right person for this profession. I'm looking for people that I got to keep tension on the reins a little bit, and I let off a little bit when I need you to be more aggressive, and I tighten it up a little bit more when I need you to. That's the warfighter mentality that we need in our Army. Yeah. And then the balance of staying legal, moral, and ethical. You know, kind of swim lanes.
I love
Like
it.
you hold them back to 80%, and then you let them loose, and they go 100% when you need them to.
If you're bold all the
80%.
time and you're flat with all your teammates, then you got checks and balances. But if you're not bold all the time, then you catch somebody off guard, and then that's when the system doesn't have the checks and balances, and then maybe you go too far. the goal is for all of us to be bold. And then the system is keeping up with the aggressive kind of, mentality. That's what we're trying to do right now in the Army. Get the whole damn system to be bold and aggressive. Or the Chinese are going to kick our ass.
You guys are crushing. I will say, I think we've all talked about it. It's like seeing the actual change, and then it's kind of removing that yellow red tape. It's like, hey, let's push the envelope. Let's actually make change and making it happen faster. Even you guys sitting down with this and showing, it's like, oh, they're just kick-ass dudes to hang out with, drink with when they're out of uniform, but also in uniform.
We're pretty normal, but we love this profession, and we're completely committed with all capital letters. So, and we want to surround ourselves with people that are like-minded, and you guys actually give a shit. So that's why we wanted to start the relationship with you.
Yeah.
Any
Just
final
don't tell
words to
anybody.
anyone?
We have a reputation.